Chapter 5, Lesson 1. We're going to talk about modeling percents. Our objective is that you will use a 10 by 10 grid to show a percent as a ratio or rate per 100. Investigate. Not many people drive electric cars today, but one expert estimates that by 2025, 35% of all cars will be powered by electricity. A percent is a ratio or rate that compares a number to 100. Percent means per 100, so that tells you right there that it compares it to 100. So a symbol for percent is that little symbol right there with a line and the two circles on top and bottom. So A says to model 35% on the 10 by 10 grid, then tell what the percent represents. So a large square represents the whole, or 100%. So this right here represents 100%. So each small square, so each one of these teeny tiny things here represents 1%. So we're going to shade the grid to show 35%. So if we shade it to show 35, we would do 10, 20, 30, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that would be 35%. Because I shaded 35 out of the 100 little squares. So write 35% as a ratio comparing 35 to 100. So I shaded 35 out of 100. So 35% equals 35 over 100. So by 2025, 35 out of every 100 cars may be powered by electricity. Moving on to B, it says model 52% on a 10 by 10 grid. I am just going to use the same 10 by 10 grid so that you don't have to watch me draw it all out. So this one, I'm going to be modeling 52%. So I'm going to go 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and then 2. So this would be 52. And then 18%, or I guess I should go ahead and fill the rest of this real quick. So then 52% is 52 out of 100. Squares is 52 over 100. So again, all it's saying is that this is a way to write this percent as a ratio. So 52% is 52 over 100. Now let's look at C. C is 18. 18%. So to show that in a model on a 10 by 10 grid, we're going to go, that's 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is what 18% looks like on a 10 by 10 model. And that would be 18 out of 100 squares is 18 over 100. So 18% is 18 over 100. Explain how you would use a 10 by 10 grid to model 7%. So for that one, you would just shade 7 of the 100 squares. Model 1/4 on a 10 by 10 grid, what percent is shaded? Explain. So 1/4 equals, if we want to put it over 100, because we're doing a 10 by 10 grid, so it would have to equal 100, would be 4 times what gives me 100 is 25. So 1 times 25 is 25, which also equals 25%. And then it says, explain how you could model 5/10 on a 10 by 10 grid. 0.5% is half of 1%. So you would shade 1/2 of 1 square. How would you model 181% by using 10 by 10 grids? So you would shade 1 complete grid, which would model 100%. So then you have the 81% left. So you would also shade 81 squares of the second grid. Okay, let's look down here at make connections. It says the table shows the types of meteorites in Meg's collection. Shade a grid to show the number or the ratio comparing the number of each type to the total number. Then write the ratios at a percent. So if we're looking over here at Meg's meteorite collection, we need to remember that a percent is a ratio that compares a number to 100. So if we're looking at iron, the number is 21. So 21 out of 100 meteorites are iron. So 21 out of 100 is 21%. To shade that, I would do, that's 10, 20, 1. And then for stone, we have 76 out of 100. And then, so we have 76 over 100. We have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's 70. If we shade all that in. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Which is 76%. And then over here we have 3. 3 out of 100, which is 3 out of 100, which is 3%, and you would just shade the 3. I forgot to explain one step. How I knew that these were out of 100 is that we're going to shade the grid to show the ratio comparing the number of each type to the total number. 21 plus 3 is 24 plus 76 gives you 100. So that's why we knew automatically to compare out of 100. Again, our objective for today was that you will show a 10 by 10 grid, or you will use a 10 by 10 grid to show a percent as a ratio or rate per 100. If you have any questions, please be sure to ask your teacher.